So we're in the tiny little hamlet of Puddington. Oh, but for a vowel, could have so been Paddington. But it's Puddington, and it's a tiny little hamlet. Everybody's houses have names, as they often do in the UK. There's High Lee, Little Oak, Green Lee. It's quite a few little houses with Lee, L-E-A, which I think means an opening, a green opening in a forest. The old, no one, can't read that one. Now here's a place I'm not too happy to go through. Black Dog. Never face your black dogs. Pennymore, Crowies, yeah, and Plough Hill. Yes. Black Dog, 2 miles. I think we actually go through that little town. So there we have it. A little thatched cottage. And we are in Puddington. There's not a lot to see really. It's just up and down hills. And the weather's a bit grim. This is nice. Wisteria cottage. Yep, there's some wisteria. I think on the front of that house. And possibly this place has a little church and a pub, possibly. It's bigger than I thought, Michelle.
Yeah, it's certainly bigger than I thought. It was a little hamlet.
Yeah, it's got its own church. I take it back, it's got 2 churches. St Thomas Becket of Puddington, Reverend Kingsley Cross, and then a second. Oh, it may not be a church actually. Maybe a village hall or a schoolhouse. No, I take it back. I think that's a village hall. I just saw the bell up in the tower. It's a school, so it was actually a school. Oh, yeah. AD 2000. This school, I can't quite read it.
And can you trust that you won't blow away in the wind?
So a lady in Puddington, little village that we're in, is Mrs. Webber has just offered to fill up our water bottles, and she's going to give us a piece of fruit cake. Absolutely lovely. So how nice was that? Fill up our water, a little bit of fruit cake. Thank you, Mrs. Webber. You're very sweet. Just filming again, Stephen. Just to make a note that very few people on these narrow roads even ease up on their accelerators as they pass hikers, which is a bit frustrating. I'm pretty sure if I was driving, some do, some are very good. They ease up and they come past nice and slow. Just, you know, life is not that busy. Yeah, you'll see 2 cars there. They're not giving us any grief. They sometimes do on the narrow stretches, but you know, just at the very least, if you don't want to brake, ease up on your accelerator when you pass hikers or pedestrians. We're entering the village of Black Dog. Time to face your demons. A great name for a village. Feels so late. It almost feels like coming up to late evening, and it's barely 12 o'clock, midday. It's so grey today. Cows are amazingly sheepish almost. Look, timekeepers. Look at this lot. They know it's time for milking. There's a couple of jerseys at the front. Hello there. A couple of jerseys. And a bunch of Friesians with heavy udders. And they're all queued up, look. They're going to cross shortly into the milking sheds. Amazing. They know the time. We're now in Morden Bishop, a little town up in the hills today. I've been told there's a little shop here somewhere, so I think there's another rest stop. A little school, lovely little school. It's an old church or maybe a An old Sunday school building or something. Another pretty little town. Lots of thatch and stonework. Little dove holes in the front of that building. I think that would be for birds, or would have been at one time for birds. These are pretty little thatch cottages. A lot of thatch in Morden Bishop. So yeah, pretty little cottages. Actually, back there was some really lovely brightly coloured ones. I'm not walking back up to film them, sorry. You have to imagine that with all lots of nice bright colours. And on this side, they probably were at one time thatched as well. There's a pretty one, look. Thistle cottage. A little row of, what do they call them in England when they're all joined together? A terrace. A terrace of thatched cottages. Look at this one. Yay. Beautiful. Very pretty. Thatches are great. They usually on the roof have a little dolly or a bird or something the thatcher puts on there as a signature. Can't see anything on these ones. They can be expensive to re-thatch, but they do last a long time. I think dozens of years, I think, and they can be trimmed back at certain points. You can't really see it on the front of that thatch. There's something like a corn dolly. I always remember the one in the New Forest used to have a, what did they used to put on there?
It was a bird, isn't it?
It was a bird, a pheasant or something they used to make and put on the front. So I can't see that here, but trust me, some of the old traditional thatchers used to sign their thatch work with a little design on top. Quite elaborate sometimes. Can't see that here, so you'll just have to take my word for it. I'm never wrong. I don't think I've seen so much thatch in one town. This is quite unusual. This one's quite steep. The thatching, almost like an Austrian or Swiss style chalet. Very steep thatching. Not usually as pitched as that, is it, Michelle? Must have been quite an interesting one for the thatcher to do. Although actually saying that, the one next door is quite pitched as well.
Must be the style around here.
Maybe they're always pitched and I just haven't noticed it before. That one looked particularly steep. So I'm looking down at that field. I'm pretty sure there's pigs down there because of the dirt and that. And did you see the emu? Did you notice? There's an emu in the field just next to it. It's just gone out of sight. You'll have to watch it again. There's some lovely old buildings. Got the stonework, but above here you've got what looks to be like cob mixed with stones. It's quite unusual. More thatch and a road sign that says slow children and animals, which is interesting. Lovely building again. I like the combination. Look at the three different stonework. So you've got the old stonework here, you've got cob, which is a mixture of hair and mud and stones, and then red brickwork. How interesting. Good night, everyone. Morning, Michelle.
Morning.
Now there's a plane. We're just wondering if it's going somewhere nice and warm. It's a beautiful day. Last night was a big thunderstorm. I mean, it was raging. The tent was blowing, the rain was coming down. And today we're actually behind a clubhouse of a football pitch, a local football pitch. I'm staying out of sight because, though I don't think they mind, we don't need to antagonise the situation. But we didn't break in at all. There's actually a stile. This one of these beauties of a country football pitch. There's stiles coming into the land here, and to be honest, nobody really cares. We don't leave any mess behind. Today we were just thinking about something my mother said, which was this walk. Maybe it's become a little bit like a pregnancy. You just can't wait to get it over with now. It's just dragging on and on. At the beginning, it's all exciting. In the middle, you're just getting on with it. And towards the end, we're just praying for it to end. And that's a good analogy, because that's the way it feels. It feels like, Lord, we're probably barely a week away from the end, but both of us are just wishing it would come. And then we start seeing planes flying over, and you think, oh, I wonder if they're going somewhere nice and warm. It's beautiful today, but it's been horrible this week. So we were around with the home team, not with the away. Home for the win. I don't think these places are being used at the moment. I suspect that because of all the lockdowns and things, they're barely getting any use at all, which is sadness, isn't it? This lockdown is destroying people's lives piece by piece, whilst the government are getting on with their lives. Oh, don't get me started on it. That's a good example. First thing this morning, narrow. Look, I can almost touch the sides. A big ute, a pickup truck's come up here with a big trailer. Michelle and I have stood in the side to let him get by, rather than actually stopping like any intelligent person would have done and let us walk round him. He just carried on at speed past us. His vehicle almost clipped us. His trailer very nearly clipped us. What a moron. Another bloody farmer, from what I could tell. What an absolute moron. The idea is, you know, I'll put the name up of this football pitch. Guy in a grey pickup truck with a trailer going down this road. Whoever you are, you're a complete and utter arsehole, disrespectful. I'm sick of you sort of people. You're so dangerous to people. You shouldn't be allowed to have a vehicle. So sorry about the little rant, but I'm telling you now, it's so frustrating. That guy, we kind of made him stop, but the worst offenders on this journey we haven't filmed. We've captured the odd one, but the worst ones, such as this idiot that just drove past at speed with a big trailer on the back of his pickup down this little narrow lane and forcing us into a bush. Completely didn't smile, nothing, just, you're obviously in my way. We don't capture them. So the best I can do is pinpoint this place, say that it was a silver grey ute or pickup truck, as they call them here, guy with a big silver trailer. I'm going to pinpoint it and hope that somebody in this area knows what idiot it is, and one day when he ends up killing somebody on the road, they can step in and arrest him and put him away for life. You can see the rain we had last night. Look, running down the street. Mind, it was running down the streets yesterday as well, and it wasn't raining, but I think there's been a fair bit of rain around this last week or so. There's the what 3 words of the football club, and it was just a little way down this lane here. Problem, Michelle, I don't know how we're going to get around this without getting very wet.
I'll just have a look, see. As we go, as long as it's not above our basket, we're all right.
Maybe. For me, I think I've proven, despite these boots being recommended, getting walking boots, I'm finding my boots are not waterproof. When I go through water like that, I tend to get soaked, so I think I'm going to go barefoot. There's more than one way to skin a cat. What a great gentleman.
Fantastic.
Thank you, mate. That's beautiful.
I've got My leg rolled up.
Thank you. How beautiful was that? Really struggling to see how we were going to get through that water. You can see how deep it was. And just luckily, the back of that guy's van had a little step on it. We managed to surf through. How cool is that? You're not going to believe how we just got through that big. It's really deep. 3 cars have come through there and it's really deep. We stood on the back of a guy's van on his tailgate and he let us go through. We were like surfing through. Woohoo! If you want to see it, you'll have to wait for the full video. I did film some of it, but that was the most surreal thing. Hanging off, Michelle and I hanging off the back of a little van. As we went through the water. I still find this amazing in the UK. Black plastic bags and tubs full of recycling. All down this road it's the same. I mean, if they came to Australia and saw the way we collect our garbage, one guy in a van with no helpers does an entire town without even getting out of the van. But it's like the dark ages, in all honesty. The way they collect rubbish here, I'm sorry to beat up on you guys, but when I was a child in Germany, we had a better garbage collection system many years ago, and they're still putting bin bags out and boxes and tubs with their recycling. Honestly, I don't understand why you can't just go abroad and see how other people collect their rubbish without sort of hordes of bin men and bags being split all over every road. Now, a day or so back, I talked about these lovely thatched cottages and how a lot of the thatchers put little models on the roof there, 2 pheasants, to sort of signature. But in the village we were in, I couldn't find any. So here's a nice example. And clearly, not proving my point, but reassuring me that I was right, that they do it and still do it, but the models on the roof. Aye, having said that, this is a tricky little town to walk through. We're on an A road. We never like being on A roads. Sometimes you have to, but this one's particularly ugly because there's a bad bend coming up. Sort of bend I really don't like. Blind. And I think we're better to go on. You can hear another vehicle coming. We can see, another wide load. A wide load as well.
Could be a while.
Let's get over this side, Michelle, so we can step in. Where? Anyway, it's time we did a bit of wrong siding, I think, Michelle. Bit of wrong siding. We've got a left turning coming up and there's no hard shoulder on that side. Our left turning is just less than sort of 50 meters up here. I'm going to stay on this side of the road where we can get up on this hard shoulder if the traffic gets gnarly in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, thankfully back on a country road. That is so gnarly. It's really hard walking on those roads, particularly that route there, which has got a lot of big trucks on it for some reason. I only did a mile and a half, but yeah, not enjoyable at all. I want to try and stay on these small country roads.
Hello.
We're definitely going to have to conserve battery power a little bit. I think on Saturday we might be able to get past Bodmin and into near Newquay, which is a place that we can get a Premier Inn stop and recharge everything. But I'm squeezing power out of the bricks at the moment. So yeah, if it goes a bit quiet, it's because we're we're trying to conserve the battery to do the GPS. Anyway, hope you're having a great day. It's been beautiful today. It's gone a bit cloudy, a bit grey. Our own records, Michelle. If we ever think we didn't push hard these days, I think we should remember back to these days when it's been uphill all that time, and we've just gone all the way up for nearly an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and we'll regain our breath on the downhill section. But yeah, if we ever think back and think maybe it wasn't as hard as we remember, then I think remember the idiots like that though, that refuse to slow down as they pass hikers, pedestrians. Been so many of them, it's endless. And yeah, remember how your legs burn, how the balls of your feet ache, how your hips ache from carrying the bag, how your shoulders ache from the weight of the bag towards the end of the day. And that'll remind you just how hard this walk was. 3 months of this. Three months over mountains, hills, bogs, main roads, 1,200 miles plus. Just pulled up in a country lane, no indicator, no four-way flashes, on a bend, taking a phone call. Beggars belief, honestly. Beggars belief. At the very least, put your indicator on. Four-way flashes, really. You know, your hazard lights. There's cars coming around that bend and just don't know what you're doing. Why are you there? Not to worry. She's got a star-spangled telephone. So my nose didn't completely deceive me. He said they make, a guy I just asked, said they do make desserts in there, cheesecakes and chocolate things and what have you. I could smell chocolate, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, interesting. So tonight's camping spot is in the grounds of a castle, an old castle, Oakhampton Castle. We got choice of four picnic benches. This seems perfect, Michelle. Once the dust goes down, and Michelle and I have had a little bit to eat.
And once the other couples have finished visiting too.
Yeah, there's a few couples climbed over the fence. You're not meant to be in, well, it's a ruined castle. There's 3 couples come in so far, just have a look around the castle. It's obviously done. They said to us, we're chatting with a nice couple that first came in with us, and they said, no, we've done it many times. So we're happy, and I think after that we're going to set up probably just over there by that picnic bench, or to the other side, somewhere a little bit out of sight. You look at that, we're sitting up in the grounds of an old castle tonight. How cool. I thought it was quite nice this morning that I've actually got the castle to myself. Cold and damp, as it would have been back in the day, wouldn't it, when these castles were lived in.